Today we're going to look at continual and continuous. We're going to look at the differences between continual and continuous. When do you use continual? When do you use continuous? Let's check it out. And 今日の勉強は continual と continuous その違い。どの時に continual を使う、どの時に continuous を使う。それを今日勉強します。Looking at the differences between continual and continuous. Both continual and continuous are adjectives. The meaning of continual is a duration that continues over a period of time, but with intervals of interruption. Continuous is a duration without interruption. So continual, if we're looking at this graph, we have improvement here and time here. We have some improvement and no improvement. So here we have an interval of interruption, it stops. And more improvement and it stops. More improvement, it stops. Is continual. So the improvement period is long, but it stops. Continuous is non-stop. It continues without interval. There's no stops. So continual continues for a period of time and then stops. And then starts again for another period of time. Continuous is continuous. There's no interval, no stop. Continual と continuous は両方とも形容詞です。continual は断続的。このチャートを見れば上達してでこの間で上達続けないずっと続けない。continuous は連続的。これはしばしばに起こる。これは切り目のない。そうずっと続く。continuous は。continual はそうじゃない。Looking at some examples for continual and continuous. First one for continual. I have had continual problems with this car since I bought it. When I bought this car, I've had a lot of problems. I had one problem. Once the one problem was fixed, there was a period of time when there was no problems, but then another problem happened. And that was fixed, and then there's a period of time with no problems, and then another problem happened. So it's not continuous, it's continual. So at certain times, there are some problems. But in the sentence, they're describing a situation where it's happening again and again and again. There are intervals, there are breaks where there are no problems, but the problems keep coming back. So we would say continual problems. And number two, she can't put up with continual interruptions. She's in her office working hard, and somebody comes to the door and knocks on the door, and she's interrupted. She stops and answers the questions or does something. The person leaves, she gets back to work. And then 20 minutes later, another person comes and knocks on the door and she stops again. So there are breaks where she can work. It's not continuous. It's continual. People keep coming in again and again. And next, some examples for continuous. Number one, the rain has been continuous since this morning. This morning when I woke up, I looked outside and it was raining. And there it has not stopped. It has continued till now. Perhaps now is this afternoon. So for 4 or 5 hours, the rain has been continuous. It started raining and it's still raining now. There has been no breaks. It has been continuous. And number two, the computer makes a continuous sound. When I turn the computer on, it begins to make a sound. And this continues without interruption until I turn it off. There is always a sound. It's a continuous sound. There are no interruptions. And 日本語で言うと、この車を買ってからしばしば問題が起こっている。2番目。彼女はたびたびの中断は我慢できない。今朝から雨が降り続けている。4番目。このパソコンはどうきれなく 聞こえてくる音がある。And looking at a couple of questions to help you distinguish between continual and continuous. Looking at the first one, number one, the front door was in motion with guests coming and going. If you think of a department store with the front door, the door opens and closes. If there are a lot of people coming, it's opening and closing a lot. But there will be some times when people are not coming and it stays closed. There are some intervals, some periods of time of where the door is not moving. If this is the case, then we want to use continual. So some breaks. A lot of movement for a long period of time, but then a break. And then more customers come and a lot of movement. So continual. Interruptions, breaks. Number two, the something humming of the fluorescent lights gave him a headache. When you turn fluorescent lights on, they make a humming sound, bzzz, sort of soft humming sound. This sound continues until you turn them off. This is a continuous sound. There are no interruptions. If the lights are on, the sound is continuous. Continuous humming. Of the fluorescent lights gave him a headache. If you like, please make a sentence in the comments using continual and continuous, and I'll check that for you. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. See you next time.